Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, um, getting ready to leave. I don't know if you can hear my washer going, but getting my clothes washed and got my Prime shirt on today. So I'll wear this probably the rest of today, and then probably when it's time to get picked up, I'll probably put on something else. I try not to ruin my Prime stuff, and I've got like the Prime shorts is what I wear like in the truck, when I'm trying to relax or whatever, or if I'm just trying to be comfortable driving. Some of these guys, man, that drive around in jeans, like in the whole belt buckle and all that shit. I mean, more power to you, but damn, I can't do that for 10 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. I mean, it gets uncomfortable for after a while. And then you got guys on here like making fun of people like wearing like shorts or sweats or whatever. Man, I don't give a fuck what I'm wearing as long as I'm comfortable. That's all that really matters. I don't know if it's like at a different. I don't know if it's angled or not. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. There we go. All right. So, as you can see from the title, the age-old question: company driver versus a lease driver. It's something that you're going to be asked a lot at Prime. I don't know about other places. I can only speak for Prime, so I don't want people to think, well, they didn't ask me that at CFI. I don't know about any other companies. All I know about is Prime. And I can tell you from the time, even when I got to orientation, like we were just hanging out, we were waiting for the girl, and the guy next to me was like, what's up, man? Blah, blah, blah. Are you going to go lease or company? And I've been there for 10 minutes. And then as the lady is talking, she's like, well, she's talking about like future-wise. And she was like, yeah, so whenever you guys get to the point of being a company driver or a lease driver, it's something you're going to hear constantly. It's something that you're going to talk to your classmates about constantly in orientation. It's going to be the only real question that's going to be floating around. Are you going company or are you going lease? Because there is really two sides to it. Now, some of the people that say that leasing is a scam or a Prime Inc. leasing is a scam, I don't know about that, because I'm not saying that I don't know about that like as if I believe it. I'm saying the people that I've talked to, like they were like, no, I make bank, like make absolute bank. Like when freight is just normal, fine, good to go, like they are making absolute bank. And it's kind of like, okay, like what would cause people to think that it's some kind of scam, or then I heard something recently where they said that a lease operator from Prime is a glorified company driver. I've never heard that because they get paid differently. They have different benefits. I mean, it's all pretty much different. So I didn't quite understand that. But anyways, so we'll start with the company side of things. So I know that I don't have settlements to do anything like that. Plus, I don't even think I have them ready to go if I had them, because technically I'm a company driver. To be technical, when you're in training, you're technically a company driver until you've upgraded and decided what you want to do. Then kind of goes from there. So I'm on the Prime Inc. website. You guys can't see it. I thought about doing this off my computer, that way you guys could see, but I don't have like a camera to like face, and I don't want to do all the having to split views and all that. It's all crazy. So if you decide to be a company driver, if you want to go company, there's the biggest difference it's gonna be the two biggest differences. Is what you're gonna hear a lot of when you talk about where you want to go. It's gonna be the pay and the benefits. Those are the two main things that's gonna be like what differentiates even owner ops, what differentiates like how everything works. Yeah, some people talk about like, oh, I can go faster on the pedal and I can turn the cruise control on and go 2 miles an hour faster or something. It all sucks, right? I think if I know they're all about safety and everything, but honestly, it would be nice to be able to go a little faster, especially if your safety record's been pretty good, right? So not pretty good, but if you've got like a spotless safety record, I mean, honestly, it would be kind of nice, right, to go a little faster. Anyways, so company driver benefits. So if you're a company solo driver, right? Company solo driver. If you go refrigerated, you'll get 50 cents per mile. Refrigerated is what I drive. You hear it referred to as reefer. And that's in a full-size truck with the bed and all that stuff, right? It's got like they call it a condo, right? It's the big truck. The reason I have to say big truck, because you get 55 cents per mile if you get in the lightweight truck. The lightweight truck is got a smaller bunk area. It doesn't have a passenger seat. So some guys do prefer that, because I've seen guys put their fridge in where their passenger seat is, and that's kind of nice. I mean, if you want to reach over and grab a drink, it's just right there, right? No, I don't recommend that while you're driving. But people can't tell me that they haven't done it, right? It's kind of like, well, I've never done that. Yes, you have. Everyone's talked on their phone. Everyone's texted while they were driving. Not a single person in this world that has not done that. So 50 cents for a full-size truck, 55 cents for a lightweight truck. I've seen the lightweight trucks. I'm a big guy. Pretty sure I could deal with it. I plan on having my wife and my daughter with me every once in a while to ride around with me and go check things out. And so I also plan on training. I know I've talked about in other videos that I wasn't sure. So I want to leave my options open. So if I do end up getting a training, I want the bigger truck, obviously. If you're in flatbed and you're a company solo driver, it's 52 cents per mile, which I honestly think they deserve more. They do a lot of work when it comes to like throwing tarps and strapping down and chaining down. They really do deserve more because tankers get 57 cents per mile. So if you're a solo tanker, it's 57 cents per mile. And now I don't know exactly what all they do. I don't want to step on toes and say like one works harder than the other, but I've done flatbedding and it sucks. And for some people it's like this weird like cult, right? Like not a lot of people do it, so having to throw tarps, strap down stuff, I mean, it's hard work. I honestly think that the flatbed and tanker pay should be switched. That's my opinion. If you're a company team driver, if you're a team driver and you're unrefrigerated, it's 69 cents per mile split. 69 cents per mile split. So, no, that doesn't mean you're getting $1.40 or whatever it is, to run team. It's 69 cents per mile split down the middle. So 69 divided by 2, basically. Same thing for flatbed at 67 cents per mile. These are team drivers, company team drivers. Flatbed is 67 cents per mile. And tanker is 70 cents per mile. Why is flatbed so, like, why are they getting the least amount? Like, it's not easy work. Like, it is not easy work. And if you guys think it is, try going into like Wyoming in the wintertime and having to throw a tarp. Like, you're freezing. You're absolutely freezing. You could be out there for a couple hours, like, throwing these tarps. Like, I don't understand why they don't get paid more. Anyways, company team driver bonus. So then it just says company team driver bonus. So 26 cents per mile split bonus for miles between 3,000 and 39, we'll call it 4,000 per week. And 31 cents per mile split bonus for miles over 4,000 per week. So it sounds like they give you a little more if you have more miles for that week, which I'm pretty sure company team drivers are making that pretty easily. Well, I say that now. Well, maybe back in just normal freight, but right now probably not. But that's pretty good bonuses right there. Honestly, I want to go lease, but damn, company seems like that might not be too bad. But I don't know, 50 cents per mile, that sucks for a full size truck. And I know you get like safety bonuses and like fuel bonuses and things like that, but I don't know, man. I think I'll stick with leasing. Independent contractors or lease ops is what you hear a lot of it. All of them the same, so except for tankers. So it's 72% of the revenue for both refrigerated and flatbed. And for some reason, I guess they didn't feel like they needed an extra 1% for tanker, so it's 71% of revenue, which doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if this has been updated or changed in any way, they have it updated on the website, so I couldn't tell you if it's the same or not. Maybe if they updated it recently, don't know. So some of the little features they call it, I don't call it benefits, but some of the features you got, it says supporting our drivers. We understand that our drivers perform their best when they are happy and healthy. That's what we were talking about in the last video. Is you're like, oh, we got a daycare and we got where you can get massages and we have like salon and blah blah blah. And it's kind of like, how often are we there using like a gym? Like, unless you're in a terminal, that's really the only time you're using it, right? And honestly, we're not there that much. Man, this thing keeps moving over. I'm sorry. We're not there that much, so it's kind of like, it seems like it's one of those things they can claim and say, yeah, we got this for drivers, but honestly, I mean, you'll see the most you're going to spend time there is when you're in training, orientation, and all that. That's the best time to really use all that stuff. It is kind of nice when you get to a terminal and you've been eating like crap all week, or for a while, and you finally get to a terminal and you can actually sit down and eat like real food. It's kind of nice. Passenger and pet policies. So I don't know if this is different for lease ops. Now, What I'm telling you here is all just stuff for company drivers. They don't really go into like lease type stuff. So I don't know how that. I'll look for it on the website. I don't know that this stuff directly applies to like lease ops. So passenger and pet policy, associates are allowed to have one passenger in their truck with them as they travel, and drivers are allowed to have a single pet on their truck, provided the driver has paid the refundable deposit. Now I'm pretty sure I've seen prime drivers with more than one animal. Again, I don't know if it's been updated. Like I said, I don't know if they do a very good job of updating their website. Insurance benefits. So their company drivers have access to our competitive insurance benefits, including medical, dental, and life insurance. 401k, success sharing plan is also available. That's all stuff for company drivers. If you're lease op, you don't have access to any of that stuff. I know that they do have independent contractor benefits packages. I haven't seen it. I know it's on their website, but it's kind of hard to read because like some of it has pricing and then other times it doesn't. I know there's a guy in the he is where the campus inn. There's like a hallway, and I'm pretty sure that guy does the contractor benefits. Why they have him in the fucking dungeon? Like why they have him over at the campus inn doesn't make any sense to me. You would think that they would have him give him an office at the damn terminal building, and it kind of like when you go see his office, it's like a tiny room, really tiny room, just big enough for a desk and a computer. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's go. Safety bonus says drivers who have no preventable accidents or out of service incidents within a certain period, you get an extra bonus for that. So you get a safety bonus. Home policy. So here's the biggest one when it comes to home time. A lot of people ask about home time when it comes to company drivers and lease op driving. So it says. I'm trying to just skip to it. So you get 1 day of home time per 7 days on the road. So if you want to stay home for a weekend, 3 days. If you want to stay home for 3 days, you got to be out on the road for 3 weeks. Which, I mean, honestly, I think the lease op policy is better, where you can just go home whenever you want. The reason I say that is because I've stayed out 5-6 weeks and went home, and I was able to go home for a week. You know, that doesn't sound like it's like all that great, but honestly, you know, it's about the same. It's about the same for company drivers, right? 6 weeks, you know, get 6 days off. Now, whether it's paid or not, I don't know. It doesn't say. But yeah, the only real big difference is your pay. We'll get into that in a minute when it comes to, you know, the biggest differences, because we haven't really gotten into like, you know, yeah, you get cents per mile and all that, and 72% of the revenue, but there's extra stuff that comes out. But yeah, home time is the biggest thing. So if a lease op wanted to go on a 2-week vacation, he could. If in order for a company driver to go on a 2-week vacation, he was going to need 2 months. He'll need 8 weeks out on the road in order for him to go on that two-week vacation. If he wanted to use his home time. Vacation time. Drivers can receive up to $2,800 in paid vacation each year, depending on the number of miles they drive. The more you drive, the more time you are given off. So that's for company drivers. And that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know how all that works as far as vacation time. I'm sure it's good. So, yeah. Let me see, make sure. Oh, okay, independent contractor benefits. Now, I don't really see these as benefits. I mean, some of them aren't. Not as good as the other ones, the company ones. Some of the company ones are pretty good. I mean, I wish they would kind of share some of that stuff with the lease op drivers, because I know Prime's got a lot of lease op drivers. You get customized trucks, so you can customize your truck any way you want. I don't know about any way you want. I know that I've like even my trainer, he had to drive like a piece of crap that he didn't like for like a year, and he was able to order a truck. And his truck's real nice. He got it black, and he decided on the colors and all that stuff. So yeah, customized trucks, I think that's a lease purchase though. I think in order to get all those decals, you have to have all the lease purchase. Now maybe you can do it with the lease op trucks, but pretty sure all the ones that I've seen were lease purchase trucks. Incentive programs. Associates are allowed to have one passenger in their truck with them as they travel. Drivers may also have a single pet on their truck, provided the pet is under 40 pounds and the driver has paid the refundable deposit. I don't know why, if you're a lease op, why they're telling you what size your animal has to be. I don't know if that's a DOT thing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Yeah, honestly, at some point I'll probably get a pet, you know, just to have them cruise around with me. But for the most part, I'd like to be able to take my wife and my daughter with me, which I'm pretty sure I'm able to do that. But that's up to your fleet manager, right? Retention and rewards. We want to keep our talented drivers, and we do our part to thank them through financial incentives. Independent contractors are rewarded for their continued success with Prime with a total of $1,500 in annual incentives. Not sure what they mean by annual incentives. I'm guessing they're talking about like e-fund, tire fund, that kind of thing. But I haven't heard anything geared towards that. Fuel and tire discounts. Those are pretty good. The fuel discounts you get, they're pretty good. The only thing I think you don't get a discount on is like DEF. Well, DEF is fucking expensive. But at least you get the diff, fuel, tire, and service discount, so that's pretty good. Lease purchase option. So when you're a lease op, you can lease a purchase directly through Success Leasing Program. Best of all, you can lease your own truck with no money down and no credit check. Yeah, you can lease that truck, or if you do a lease purchase, even the like the down payment is absolute dirt cheap. I mean, it sounds like a lot, like it's more than a couple grand. I mean, $8 grand, $9 grand, $10 grand, depending on lots of different things, which I don't want to get into. I know that the more you lease, then the smaller your down payment becomes when you want to lease purchase. So I don't really want to get into that, but it's good that it has that option, and you can just outright purchase a truck or the truck you have. And then the standard lease option, without having to read all this, pretty sure you get an incentive when you complete it. So it's called a lease completion bonus, and it's different. It's different depending on who you are and if you did anything to your truck, or if there's anything messed up in there, or they feel like they have to. I've heard, who was it? There was a tanker driver. Her name was Sway. She was saying, she was like, yeah, don't even bother cleaning the truck because they're going to charge you a cleaning fee either way, so it's kind of like one of those things where like they're going to take it, they're going to get something for you, every time. And if you have like holes that got to be patched up or things got to be fixed, then they fix that, and that all comes out of your lease completion bonus. But also your lease completion bonus can be upwards of $20,000-$30,000, so or maybe less than that. I've heard of some pretty high ones, and I've heard some low ones, but either way, I mean, even if it was 15 grand, I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, you could set that aside, and you could use that purely just to with you on the road. That's pretty good. So when it comes to the pay, so when I say the pay, I mean like how we talked about like company drivers and lease op drivers, 1 cent per mile. So another big factor, and it's something that people consider every time, it's going to be your taxes, and it's going to be what you're actually paying for as a lease op, right? So I don't want to go into too much detail in a settlement because I don't want to have to sit here and break it down, but I'll give you the gist of it, right? So we'll start with the taxes. So when you're a company driver, a lot of times it's referred to as a W-2. You're a W-2 driver. So at the end of the year, when it's time to do your taxes, they give you a W-2, and then you go out and pay your taxes, whatever that might be. And if you're a lease op driver, or a lease op, owner op, whatever, independent contractor, 1099, they're going to give you that, and that 1099, and then you got to go on there and you got to pay your own taxes. And then it's not I heard it's every year. I've also heard that some guys do it quarterly, which is every 3 months. So I guess it really all depends how they want to do it, or how your particular person does it. Most lease ops, owner ops have some kind of tax specialist. A lot of people go with ATBS, and they seem to do pretty well. I mean, that's who I plan on going with, is ATBS. And I know there's a lot more, though. I mean, there's a lot more out there. You can go on some of the Prime Inc. I say Prime Inc. Some of the Facebook groups that Prime drivers are in, like Prime Inc. Uncensored, Prime Inc. Better Professional Drivers, and you can just simply ask a question in there, and you'll get a whole list of people. And most of the time, ATBS is going to be one of the first ones that pops up. So if you don't want to use them, there's tons of other people to use. So yeah, you got to pay your taxes yourself, and then the other one, company driver, they just give you a W-2 and you go do your thing. The other thing, other biggest thing when it comes to leasing versus company. So when you're a company driver, the APU, which is your auxiliary power units on the side, it's what keeps, like when you go at night, and keeps your AC, blowing cold and has heat and all that stuff. And then so that's your APU. So you have an APU, you have your truck and tires and fuel and all this stuff. When you're a company driver, you don't pay for any of that. If it breaks down, you don't pay for any of it. All of that's taken care of by the company. So if you have an APU issue, you go take it to wherever they say to take it to, whether it's some shop or terminal, and they fix it. If your truck breaks down, they'll get you towed, they'll get you to wherever you need to go, and they'll fix it. Tire blows out, same thing. But with lease ops, so lease ops, you got to pay for the APU. You get the rental. So it's $70 for that APU rental. Then you get the truck payment. Truck payment varies depending on a number of things, but I've seen them as low as $900 something and as high as like I think it was $1,300. I think that was a brand new like year model Volvo or something. So it all depends, but then they just range in between there. Typically I see them about $1,200. You can pretty much average that. It's about $1,200 is what it normally is. But if you're and that's weekly. All of this is paid weekly. So if you're running like you should, and you remember you're getting 72% of whatever the load is, right? The revenue. That you should be making pretty good money. I mean, I've seen guys like even with everything paid, they still made $4,000, $5,000, and this is per week. So it's pretty good. So that's why people ask you when you're in training, like, or you hear people talk about like, are you going company? Or are you going lease? Those are the biggest differences. And you got a truck payment with the lease. You got to pay for the APU. You got to, if you set it up, you get an E fund, which is like an emergency fund where you can put extra money in there. You've got a tire fund where it helps you, like if a tire blows out, they can. You have a tire fund to be able to replace those tires, and you just got all this different stuff that comes out. And if you go search videos around, on YouTube, you'll see guys that pull out that have an example settlement, and you'll see some guys will pay more, some guys will pay less. It just depends on, what they have going. If they don't have that much going into their E fund, or some guys have more. And then some guys will be making more if they're owner ops. If they're owner ops, they don't have a truck payment, so they're going to be able to make a little more. So all of that just really depends on what you feel like, what's good for you. Don't let somebody tell you like, well, why would you do this and why would you do that? Remember, the lease op. Yes, you're in a lease for that truck, but the lease it's called a walk-away lease. So if you decide, leasing isn't for me, I want to go company, you can turn that truck in and you don't owe another dime. You turn that truck in, they make you a company driver, they give you a truck, and you're gone. I mean, if you decide, man, I don't want to work for Prime anymore, it just sucks, you can turn that truck in and you can go to another company. They're not going to come after you for thousands and thousands of dollars unless you are if you got your CDL through Prime and you quit within that 1 year, then they're gonna come out and try to get your money, no matter how much it is. I seen some girl post one on the Prime Inc., one of the Prime Inc. Facebook groups, and they were coming after her for like $20, something like that. So, just a heads up. So yeah, I mean, like I said, those are going to be your biggest differences when it comes to, do you want to go company or do you want to go Prime now, or Prime, if you want to go lease at Prime. Don't let anyone try to talk you into one or the other. Do your research, like, talk to people, what pros and cons of being a company driver. Pro, everything's pretty much paid for. Cons, you're not going to get paid as much, right? Because you're getting paid 50 cents per mile, but you do have a lot of other bonuses that go through, like your safety bonus and all this stuff. So you could be making a lot more money. So it really is hard. And if you, there's a chick on here, if you go to Trucking with Kiersey, I think her name's Kiersey, is how you pronounce it. She has a couple of videos. I want to say she's a company driver. So she shows her settlements, and then she shows one from a lease op. Now, who knows if she cherry picked a lease op settlement? Who knows? But if you were to actually get, let's say, 5 settlements each from a company and 5 settlements each from a lease op, more than likely the lease op's they'll be getting paid more. And ultimately, that's the name of the game, right? To get paid. Nobody wants to be driving around over the road away from their family making peanuts, right? So it really is dependent on you. It's what is best for you, what's best for your family. Or if you don't have a family, what's best for you and what you want to do. Or if your family doesn't really care, what's best for you guys. I know, like, some guys that have younger families, they like to go company, because you get all the benefits. And then lease ops, if you're making a shitload of money, then it really doesn't matter if they need to go to the doctor's appointment or whatever. Like I said, they still have medical and dental and all that stuff for lease ops. How it compares to the company driver benefit, I don't know. It is on the website, but like I said, I've pulled it up before and looked at it, and there's really no pricing, so I don't know who you actually talk to about that and how much it actually equals out to. And I've heard of people going, if they're not sure, what they usually do is go company for a few months, maybe between 3 and 9 months is what I've heard. I've seen some people go up to a year. They do company for a while, and then once they kind of learn everything and they feel more confident in, driving skills, then they go lease. Because if you get into an accident with that lease, you're gonna have to pay that deductible, right? So it's just something to keep. It's just something to think about. I highly suggest talking to. It might be hard to come by with a company driver. To be honest, I mean, a lot of guys are lease at Prime. So if you find a lease op and ask them, sometimes a lot of lease op guys were company drivers. So, and so that it can tell you like how it is on both sides of the coin. Like I said, but ultimately, like I said, what it's going to come down to is what's best for you and what you think is right. Like I said, don't let anyone talk you into one or the other. They both have really good things about them. They both have really bad things about them. So, it's kind of like what makes sense for you, honestly, what makes sense for you. I know it can be confusing, especially when you first get in there and you're like, man, I'm just trying to get my CDL at this point. I'm not worried about company or lease. If you're a guy or girl coming in and you're getting your CDL for the first time and haven't really ever driven big trucks, don't really got confident, that kind of thing. In my opinion, I would go company. No matter, even if you end up becoming like an expert, in TNT and PSD training, I would still go company for a while. That way you can make all your mistakes there, and then once you get much more comfortable, then go lease if that's what you want to do. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer everyone's question on company or lease. I'm hoping you weren't expecting me to tell you, oh, lease is the greatest thing in the world or company is the greatest. It all depends on who you are. So hopefully this kind of helps you educate your decision a little bit. Honestly, it's tough. That's a tough question. I still kind of go back and forth with it. Especially when freight is low, it's good to be a company driver, right? But how often does that actually happen, right? So it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. So guys, let me let you go. I can already hear the next little cycle starting for the washer. I've got to repack my bags and I got to make sure I've got everything back together again because I got all over the damn house. And so it'll probably be later this evening when I take off. I'll try to do some more videos when I get on the truck. Everyone keeps asking me, where are you going? I don't know. I'm not on the truck. I couldn't tell you. So we'll find out. We'll find out when I get there. So guys, be safe. Keep the wheels down. I did start the Discord. If you look in the description, I've got the Discord invite link. Introduce yourself, ask questions, make conversation. There might be a lot of people in there that have questions or might have the same question. So yeah, man, just go in there and it's for everyone to hang out. You can stay, you can go. Makes no difference to me. My username in there is Captain Facepone. That's been my online name for I couldn't tell you how long. So shoot me a message if you have any questions. And other than that, we'll see you guys in the next one.